In this video, let us learn how to write typical launch application test scripts and run it. So we'll explore about how we can write the typical test scripts, Python and Playwright. Open the VS Code and under VS Code create a folder called tests. Under test, the first test scripts we need to create test_demo1.py. Here, first we need to import the Playwright libraries. So import playwright.sync_API. The Playwright provides two kinds of API. One called sync_API, another called async_API. The async_API we are mainly used for API automation. But sync_API it is preferable for our UI test scripts. Even async also we can use for UI test case, but in Python that's not required. So we can use async API for the running and executing the APIs. So currently we will prefer async API. Import page expect in order to validate. Def test_launch_sg app. So we need to provide the page fixture. The first one, page.goto, we need to navigate the URL. So in order to navigate the URL, please open a typical application. This is our typical application. We can copy the URL. We can navigate the application URL. So since we need to wait for timeout, wait for timeout. So actually this statement is not recorded in Playwright because for our confirmation purpose we are just providing it accepting milliseconds. 3000 milliseconds means that is the 3 seconds. Once after navigating the URL, we will try to capture the URL, page.url. So we will try to print the URL of application. URL of application, that is the URL. Similar way, we can try to capture the title. Title is equal to page.title. Title is a function. So we need to print title of application. Title we need to print it. So now save this particular test, we should run it. How we can able to run it? It is a PyTest. We need to provide a PyTest because all tests are available under the tests folder and the name of the file is test_demo1.py. -s means we can able to see the print result and -v means that is a verbose, the detailed result it will provide, -- headed. So it will launch the browser. By default it is going to launch Chromium browser and it will print the title and the URL of the application. This is the URL of the application and this is the title of the application. So similar way we will try to launch some other application. Def test_launch. So which one means POI API. The POI, there is Apache API. Apache. This is the application we can launch it. So here we need to provide a page fixture and we need to provide page.goto. So always we need to provide HTTPS, that is a mandatory one. poi.apache.org. This is the official website of POI. So once after navigating the URL, we need to wait for some time. This is only for our understanding purpose. We should not use this particular statement. So now URL is equal to page.url. So now we can try to print URL of the application. URL of application, that is the URL. Similar way we can try to print title. Title is equal to page.title of. So now we can try to print title of the application. Title of application, that is the title. So currently there are two tests are available. First save it. Currently there are two tests are available. If I can run this one, it will run both the test cases. So if we can run this approach, both which one? The SG app and as well as Chrome, as well as POI API, the both test it is going to execute. Suppose I would like to run a particular test called, which one means POI Apache. How I can able to run means, clear the screen, PyTest dot tests only, all our tests are available, test underscore demo1.py. So now we need to provide colon, what is the test name? Test underscore launch underscore POI Apache. So -s -v -headed. Now it is going to run only the second test only, it will run. Yes. So by using this particular approach, we can run even our .py file. Our test file contains n number of tests. The selected test we can able to run it. Suppose we would like to do validation. So click on clear. How to do validation? Suppose I want to check what the URL and title is displaying, that is valid or not. So we can create one more test, test underscore demo2.py. The first we need to import from playwright.sync API, import page expect only we are using for validation purpose. Def test underscore sg app underscore validate. So we need to use page fixture, page.goto. We need to navigate the URL of the application. We can go to our browser, we can copy our URL of our application. This is the URL of our application. So we need to provide some timeout. Wait underscore for underscore time out. So we'll just provide 3000 milliseconds. So now we need to make sure whether the title is appropriate or not. How we can able to make sure? So we have to go with page. We need to use expect page dot to have URL. So if the valid URL is, if the URL is appropriate, then it will become a pass, otherwise it will fail. Since it is a validation, we are just cross checking whether it is a once after navigating the URL, whether it is navigating the proper URL or not. Similar way, expect page dot to have title. So how we can able to get the title? Go to application, right click, inspect. Here we have a title. So title, this is the title of our application. So we need to provide the title. So this is the way we can able to validate. So now if we can run our test script, how we can run pytest dot tests. What is the source file name? Test underscore demo2.py -s for we need to get a print result. If you no need to get the print result, leave it. -v means detailed test output we can able to see. -headed, if we can run. So now it has to make the test script as pass. So it is going to provide, because since we have applied the expect, it is a validation step, it is telling one test has passed. So currently by default it is launching the Chrome browser. Along with the Chrome browser we can launch Firefox, WebKit, those browsers also we can able to launch, because in the playwright.dev, as soon as if we can install Playwright install, it will install all three engines, Chromium, WebKit and Firefox. So now we can try to launch different browser. So for that purpose we can create a new test called test dot launch underscore browser1 browser1.py. So this is the test, we can run it, test underscore launch underscore browser1. We can clear the console here. We can try to launch the Chromium browser here. How we can able to do? From playwright.sync API import page expect. So now we can write the test now. It's not a test, we are just launching the browser. Sync playwright as p, so browser is equal to p dot chromium dot launch headless is equal to false, because we would like to see the browser. So once after we are getting the browser object, so we need to get browser dot new underscore page. It always provides a page object. So by using page we can navigate the URL page dot go to, we can navigate the URL of our application. We can go and we can navigate the URL of our application, we can able to do. So once after navigating the URL, if you want we can capture the URL. So we'll wait for a timeout. Page dot wait for timeout. We can just provide 3 seconds. And if you want, you can capture the URL. URL is equal to page.url. Now we can able to print it. URL of application, that is URL. Similar way, we can try to print title. Title is equal to page.title. So now we can print title of application. So now we can run it. This particular test has to run only on Chrome browser. Chromium it has to be launched. So currently we have to import from playwright.sync API import. We should provide sync playwright. The same name only we need to provide. Now if we can run it, pytest.tests, the file name is test underscore launch browser1.py -s -v, okay, hyphen headed. Even if you didn't provide headed also, it has to be launch headed mode only. So now it has to launch the Chrome browser. So and it was capturing the title. Suppose I would like to launch our Firefox browser or WebKit browser. How we can able to do? Again, under test, right click and write one more test underscore launch underscore browser2.py. So now we can write the test now from playwright.sync API import page comma expect. Similar way we can start writing our test script. Sync underscore playwright as p. So now we need to provide browser is equal to p dot Firefox launch headless is equal to false. So now by using browser we can create a page, new underscore page. If you would, by default it is going to open the Chrome browser, Chromium. Suppose you would like to go with a new browser, we need to do this particular approach. Go to, we need to navigate the URL, which is our application. This is our application. In this application only we need to navigate. So we need to wait for some time out. Wait for timer. I'm just providing 3000 milliseconds. Here also we'll try to capture the URL and as well as the title. URL is equal to page dot URL. Now we need to print it. URL of application. That is the URL. Similar way we need to print. We need to capture. Title is equal to page dot. Title is a function. So now we need to print title of application. As soon as we can run, the test should run in a Firefox browser. So now we can run pytest tests, which is the file name test and launch underscore browser 2 OWSER browser 2 dot py -s -v -headed. As soon as we can provide, it has to launch that particular browser. It's not launching. Why it's telling? It's clearly telling the message card. So sync underscore playwright is not defined. So we have to import from playwright.sync API. Import sync underscore playwright. Now save this particular one, execute the same test. Now this should be launching and launching the Firefox browser. See, currently it was running our test script in a Firefox browser. Suppose you want to run in a WebKit, that is test underscore launch underscore browser3.py. So it was running our test script on WebKit browser. Sync API, we need to import page comma expect. So now with we need to provide sync underscore playwright as p. First we need to browser p dot webkit dot launch headless is equal to false. Now headless is equal to false means it is going to launch the browser. Now browser dot new underscore page, it always provides a page. Now by using a page we can navigate the URL. Go to, we can navigate the URL. This is URL of our application. Copy. This is the URL of our application. So now we need to wait for some time out. I'm just providing 3000 milliseconds. This is only for debug purpose, only to make sure whether the browser is launching or not. And I need to capture the URL and page.url. Now I need to print URL of application. That is the URL. Similar way, title is equal to page dot Title is a function. So we need to print title of application. Title. So now we need to run. Before run, we need to import sync underscore playwright. Otherwise it is giving error message not defined. So now the test should run in a WebKit browser. So clear. So now we need to write the test.tests. So now we need to provide the file name test underscore launch underscore browser3.py -s -v -headed. Now it has to launch the descriptor on which browser? WebKit browser. Now if it is not working, so what is the reason? Means there is a the name browser is not defined. So I have done a spelling mistake. There's a reason here. Here I have done a spelling mistake. That's the reason it's not working. So I would like to copy the same variable. I need to paste it here. Again save and run it. Now it should launch WebKit browser. This is a WebKit browser only. So it was capturing the URL of the application and it's capturing the title of the application. Thank you.